symptoms that I'm having, or is it just my paranoia or psychological symptoms? I don't know, but I believe it's the coronavirus. Um, Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Anna here, sharing another video from Anna's World, Blind with a Vision. And my vision for the last 10 days has been gone or blurry. Oh my gosh. If you are new to my channel, well, my name is Anna. I'm diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa. I only have light perception. I don't even see shadows anymore. And right now, for my blind subscribers, I'm wearing my sunglasses because I was told that I have very, very, very dark eyes and not even the makeup cover. So anyway, just to share with you about my, oh my gosh, it's been horrible, you guys. And I think I want to share my experience, and for those who are feeling really, really sick, and what I did, and not having to go to the hospital if you're not really, 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 really sick. Well, even though this feels horrible, anyway, I still have a lot of difficulty breathing, and I just did my video in Spanish, so I'm feeling more fatigue. Anyway, on March 11, I went to the CSUN convention. And for those who don't know what the CSUN convention is, this convention that is been happening for the last 35 years, organized by the California State University of Northridge, and it happened here in Anaheim, the Anaheim Marriott. And it's where they present all the new innovations for accessible technology for the blind, and for people with other disabilities, cognitive disabilities and motor disabilities and more. Anyway, I was there on the 11th, and I know someone told me that I should have stayed home, that it was not a good idea. And of course, I don't know if that's what I got it. It could have been somewhere else, but I counting the days, the 2 weeks where the 14 days where I started having symptoms that I actually was ignoring. I went on the convention. The convention took place from the 10 to the 15, I believe. It was from the whole week. I was there on Wednesday, and of course I was going around checking stuff and having them to, holding my hand to check the products, whatever. I followed my friend with my guide dog because she was helping one of my friends. And after that, I went to do blood work one of those days, and then I have a friend who got the coronavirus in Spain, so I was already panicking about it. And I actually on the 16th asked someone to take me to the store because I was already panicking. Even though they didn't mention, having to quarantine here in the States, I did ask someone to take me to the store, and I purchased a lot of food and whatever, just in case, thinking about being blind and having to touch stuff out there. I know it's coming this way, so I did that. And then on the 17th, because Capri was born, my guide was born, I actually asked my friend to take me to, we went to Dollar Tree and, got a rope toy for her so she wouldn't be bored and whatever. And I got water and just extra stuff. And we actually went to the park. And I know one of my friends told me you shouldn't be out there. And, just thinking about Capri, I actually did some videos out there. And about 10 days ago, or more, no, 10 or 11, I don't know, it was last week. Today is Saturday. I have lost track of time, but today is Saturday, April 3rd, I believe. But last week on Wednesday, I started feeling sick. I was having some symptoms, kind of like bronchitis symptoms. And this is because last year, back in July, August, and September, I got a really bad case of bronchitis. So I kind of panic about that, thinking that, I'm, one of those that is vulnerable. I get sick all the time. But I called my lung specialist, the one that had treated me. And when I mentioned that I was, worried about some, because I felt the wheezing on my chest, but I didn't have difficulty breathing. I was told that he was not taking any patients in the office, so he prescribed 5 antibiotics and some cough medicine, even though I was not really coughing. So someone got the prescription for me, and on my 4th antibiotic last Friday, I was getting worse. I was not hungry. My friend was joking that I was joking with my friend that she was worried about gaining weight because she's been at home eating, and I was joking that I was losing weight and I was not hungry. I was already having diarrhea, but I didn't really pay attention to it, and I started feeling tired and fatigued. I was shaky, very shaky, and I just was remembering last night that actually a couple of days before I actually got really bad diarrhea, and I feel like I was gonna faint, but I ran to my kitchen and got an Alka-Seltzer because that usually helps. That has always helped me in the past years, and so I called the doctor, the lung specialist, and they told me that they couldn't do anything. That if I was having symptoms, just to go to the hospital. And then on the following day, on Saturday, not this last Saturday, but the one before, I decided to go outside to get to throw my trash away. And this was after like 12 days. I went out there to throw my trash, and then to get my mail for many days. And I actually feel bad for my Guido Capri, so I took her outside my apartments to give her a walk, just to walk around. And I was already feeling later, oh my gosh, I started feeling so sick. I was already feeling very shaky, and oh my gosh, all of a sudden I couldn't breathe. And it's just horrible, you guys. I feel like someone was stepping on my chest. My chest felt so pressed, and I couldn't even swallow, and I was just gasping and struggling for air. And I tried to swallow, and I just couldn't. And the first thing that came to my mind was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go to the hospital. Honestly, you guys, I'm so afraid of going to the hospital. And so I just lay down on my bed, and already with tears. It feels, just thinking about if this is how people are dying out there, and that's how they die. It feels horrible. It feels horrible, you guys, because you feel like you just can't breathe anymore. It's like you can't even swallow, and like they're blocking your nose. And Guido Capri, she's great. She came right away, running, kissing me and licking me. And I was so worried, so concerned about Guido Capri, because the first thing that came to my mind is like, oh my gosh, the coronavirus, or I don't want to go to the hospital, or I was so worried about Guido Capri, just thinking that if something happened to me, she would just be here alone and no one would know. Because for many of you guys already know that I live by myself. It's just me and Guido Capri, and I depend on myself. I do my videos in English and Spanish just to share how it is to be a blind woman who lives by herself. Someone that depends on everything. I depend on everything on I do everything myself, not to show off like, oh, I'm the super wonder blind woman. No, it's because that's how it is for me as a blind person. So no one was checking on me, no one was calling. Honestly, I don't really say this much in my English videos, but I don't have any support system other than my dear Amy and my aunt Teresa, who she's always there for me. And so I got so scared about Guido Capri. So what I did, because I have a friend in Spain who he already was having the coronavirus. I remember what he told me is that you have to drink a lot of liquid, you have to drink cough medicine and Tylenol if you have. I didn't have any of that, so what I did, I went to my refrigerator where I had this syrup for cough, a prescribed one, which I actually had there because it makes me very sleepy, and I didn't really that's the reason why I didn't take it. So I got that syrup, and I did fix a drink that my friend told me that in Spain they're giving everyone that is having coronavirus is water. You squeeze a lemon in water, You put salt, baking soda, and honey. I didn't have any honey, but that's what I had. I drank and drank and drank that and did lemon tea. I didn't have any tea, but I did get tea. I have to say that it was very difficult to do it because I felt so shaky and so, having diarrhea. I didn't really have fever, but I had a horrible headache, and I already suffer of chronic headaches, so I didn't pay much attention to the headaches because I just thought that maybe it's the stress, being here. Even though a lot of us the blind spend a lot of time in the house, for me, I always venturing out there with Guide and Capri, and because I have to do everything by myself. And I was thinking like maybe I'm just stressed. Maybe I'm having psychological, maybe psychosomatic symptoms. But oh my gosh, it's horrible, you guys. So I did call my urgent care, my local urgent care for my insurance. And as soon as I told them the symptoms, the attitude was like, you could hear the fear, like, don't come over here. Honestly, I even told them like, so I'm not welcome here, and they go like, no, but we're not doing the test here. You need to go to the hospital. So I called UCI Irvine to ask, because I was very short of breath, and I just, oh my gosh, I still have the symptoms. I do, although I've been feeling way better since the day before yesterday. I did call the hospital, and they told me to go to the hospital. I called my aunt, and she told me to go to the hospital, but I was so afraid. Honestly, you guys, I feel that a lot of people who got scared about some mild symptoms or maybe psychological symptoms went to the hospital and they got worse over there. I personally believe that the doctors and nurses and everyone in the medical field are so overwhelmed with so many patients and so afraid of getting infected that I don't doubt that they have the ability to do the job. But I think like if I personally believe that if you're getting symptoms and they're mild symptoms, to try to calm down, especially if you live with family, with somebody else. Believe me that living these symptoms blindly and alone, just with your guide dog, is not easy, but you can do it. If I did it, you can do it. It's better to stay home and isolate yourself and have whoever give you a lot of liquids, a lot of I wasn't eating. So what I did follow the instructions from my doctor, and that helped, because the following day I did call my lung specialist, and again they said like they couldn't do anything else, that I needed to go to the hospital, call my doctor. So I took a lot of syrup, cough medicine to fall asleep, and on the following day I didn't even feed my guide when I was supposed to. I was so worried about her. I was so concerned about Guide and Capri, and I did call my doctor, and they gave me an appointment right away through telemedicine. And this is what I want to share with you, that for those who are feeling sick, even if you have mild symptoms, schedule an appointment with your doctor. You can do an appointment through telemedicine. It's on through video, by video, and I did download an app that is called Chrion Health. I'll go ahead and share the app here, but I did call my doctor, and for my for everyone out there, I was gonna say just for my blind subscribers, but for those who are not great with working apps on a smartphone, the app is very accessible. You download it, you have to create an account with your name, your last name, and email address, and then once you log in, it gives you the option to schedule an appointment. Once you log in on the app, once you create an account, you can log in, and it asks you to schedule an appointment, or if you already have an appointment, you have to check your insurance. It gives you option to put a credit card or an insurance. My insurance was already checked out, but it didn't let me go through without a credit card. So I did put a credit card, and I don't think they're gonna charge my credit card because I use my debit card because my insurance will cover that. So I did put a credit card just so I would be able to see the doctor. And I did, for those, if you guys have difficulty and you don't see the doctor there, I did have to call the doctor and ask the one of the ask if the doctor was available, and they told me that she just to wait, log in the app 15 minutes before, and then the doctor called you, and I had an appointment through the camera twice, and the camera that is active is the front camera, you guys, for those who are blind and you want to have that app ready and you're having symptoms. The best thing is to don't wait until you're already having really bad breathing issues. If you're already having symptoms, I have to say that I did feel better since the day before yesterday, because they end up bringing me Tylenol for fever, and I feel way better. My doctor prescribed cough medicine, so that's been helping. My chest feels very pressed, and I still have ugly symptoms of gasping for air. The way I feel the first 2 days, where it was horrible, you guys. I have to say that I feel way better, but yesterday I did follow the instructions from my doctor. She said to eat, because the immune system was weak if you don't eat, and I was not eating. So my auntie brought soup, beef soup, and she left it out there. She's 77, and she's the only one that I have. And Amy, my dear Amy, who went to the pharmacy and dropped off my medicine out there. It feels horrible being alone, having those symptoms, and hearing your family members, or well, your only two family members, coming outside and dropping off everything, and not being able to open the door and say hi the way you usually do. And I feel horrible, but my auntie brought soup, and that's what I was eating the first days. It was hard fixing my tea. I burned my fingers, my hands, I did, but I had to do it. I have to say that if you feel sick, it's better to stay home and if you're the lucky one of the lucky ones who have a family member with you, or someone who can isolate you and stay at home and eat and drink and feel better. I doubt that in the hospital the doctors would give you everything on time. At home, you can just get up, or whoever, even if you live alone like me, you can just fix a tea and eat at the time you want and drink your medicine and rest. I did spend like 3 days sleeping. I have to say the guidance could be 8, but she was just there. And I did call guidance for the blind, and they told me, same thing that my doctor told me, keep your back door open so she can go out there. This is when I cherish having a patio, you guys. And yesterday I feel so hungry, so I ate a lot yesterday, but I have to say that last night I have nightmares, and I probably had some fever. My doctor helped me through video. She got my pulse, she told me how to do it, and she was counting. She was asking me if I have anyone to take me to her office, and I go like, no, oh my gosh, I would not ask anyone to take me to the doctor or the hospital unless I have to, but I would call 911. I will call the paramedics. And because this is the way people would get infected. I haven't had the test, but most likely the symptoms are, that's the corona. I have to say that I started having these symptoms like on the 12 or 13 day, and it got really bad like on the 14th after I went to the convention, or it could have been something else. I know that some people are getting the symptoms like 2 days later, especially when you're vulnerable. I don't know about you guys, but this is very strange that only older people and only people that is vulnerable are the ones that are dying and getting infected. I know some people that is healthy out there have gotten infected, but it's like my doctor said, it's because people think they're healthy because they don't really take the time to go to the doctor. But this is very strange. I think this was done by humans. I don't think this is just a virus that all of a sudden appeared. became a pandemic for a reason, to decrease the population. Call me crazy, but I believe that. Of course, governments spend millions and millions of money on older people, and the ones like me sweating a lot, and I woke up with a lot of diarrhea again. I don't know, but I have to say that I feel I feel better, less fatigue. I do have difficulty breathing, so we'll see. I will probably just keep in touch with my doctor through video. Unless I feel really sick, I will go to the doctor. And I actually have to share that Apple created this app where you can check to see if you have the virus. And I did it, but I ignore it. One of the first question is if you are having difficulty breathing with your chest pressed, and if you're having diarrhea or those symptoms. And I said yes, and it doesn't take you anywhere else. It just tells you that you have to go to emergency. But oh my gosh, I ignore it. I don't think I want to go to the emergency room. I would totally die over there, you guys. Think a lot of people got worse just by going over there. And again, go ahead and I'll go ahead and share this app over here, the Chrion Health. Keep in touch with your doctor through telemedicine. It is actually think is very accessible, and especially when you have a doctor like mine. Dr. Percy is great, very professional, very empathic, and she did ask me if I wanted to go to her office, and for now I don't want to ask anyone. I don't even want to get out there, and in case that actually have the coronavirus, anyone could get infected. I do have to say that during my 12 days here, before I started feeling really sick, I did get a pizza, and I did sign a thing out there, but notice the guy was looking to the side. I guess they were asked to do that. And I did receive a package of makeup package every month from Sephora, and I was ignoring, cleaning my hands or whatever. But I don't know if I got it. Had to be at the coronavirus. I know my friend was telling me that maybe it's just psychological symptoms. I know a lot of people probably were having that, and the fear of getting infected, even though some people it's just out there like nothing, not believing that they have to stay home. And you really have to help the doctors and all the nurses and all the ones that are in the helping field right now to end this pandemic. Every single one of us have the responsibility to help the ones that are out there risking their lives to end the pandemic. And I thought I would share it with you guys. And I also have this video in Spanish, and thanks for watching, and I'll share another video for my blind subscribers, sharing some tips about how to, some tips that I don't know if they're tips that would help you, but tips that as a blind person and someone that is always venturing out there might help you during this pandemic. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Description for my blind subscribers: Anna is sitting in front of the camera, hopefully looking at the camera, wearing her very round sunglasses because she has very dark eyes right now. She's wearing two braids with these little flowers at the end, black flowers. I have a fuchsia blouse with long sleeves that are cut on the top, and sitting in front of my camera, just describing for those who have asked me to describe, my video.